It's so good you guys made it here. Thanks so much for joining me. Let's get professional. And welcome back to the Inside Star Citizen Review. I'm very happy to be here live with the fam. If you are not here live, you are missing a good time. So much going on in the chat. I love to just read the chat, see how people are getting along with one another. Always open minds. Always open minds. None of the stuff that you see on some of the other shows where people start to nip at one another, that passive aggressive stuff. I don't like that passive aggressive stuff. I like open minds. I like discussion. I like when people get along. Some people like to put their bossy stamp on things. Like, take the bossy stamp off. Nobody wants a bossy stamp. People want fun. People want fun, and we're going to do it today. We're going to watch today's. I don't even know what this is about. I have no idea. Stick the landing. I'm guessing it has something to do with automation of like automatic landing, and it makes me worried because I think to myself like, okay, I think of three. I think of this. L2F, learn to fly, right? That's the first thing because I'm hardcore. So I hope they don't make it like completely easy mode across the board for every single player. Now, on the other hand, if you're somebody who's not like, into the HOTAS or the dual stick, I get it. You're a trader, you just want like easy mode because you're flying like a freighter. You got a lot of cargo in there. You're doing the mouse and keyboard. I get that totally, but automation should happen, I think, at a level where it's for larger ships and perhaps like a component of a freighter. I don't even know. I'm just, boom, boom. Ideas just coming out right now. Some people don't like that. We do. Let's watch. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up on this edition of Inside Star Citizen.
So what sucks about the current implementation of restricted areas is that it's this huge cover-all solution. The environment team makes these beautiful cities and then we just put this red shader on it which kind of obscures everything. They're kind of just in the way. They're difficult for us to author. There's these complicated shapes to like let you fly into where the landing zones are because we can't cut holes in it, and so it's not so clear where the boundaries are, and then it just kind of becomes this difficult.
David Coulson, respect this guy. He's been working on the flight system for nearly 2 years. I like the fact that he's sticking to it. I like when there's one guy that sticks on the project. We also know that there's 4 other people that are involved in the flight process, one of which is a pilot. So I'm very happy that they're going to give us this evolution of a flight experience that it continues to evolve. In 3.10, we are going to get basically new atmospheric flight, which I've been looking forward to. The ship needs more weight. The flight experience needs to be better. I think all of us can agree about that. Let's keep going. David Coulson.
Mess where it's hard to tell where you stand with the restrict areas, and they just look ugly. They just don't look good at all.
Absolutely right. I like that he said that.
So why do we need restrict areas in the first place? Well, we need it to fit into the lore. I mean, like real cities and real airports have these restricted airspaces around them just to keep the place orderly and keep it under control so it doesn't get too busy. So we want to recreate that. And we also want to preserve that player experience of someone walking around in the city. Like, you don't want to be walking around going to shops and having some other player fly in and crash into you. So we can protect from that. There's also just the practical reason that the environment team have created this super detailed city, and they've done it to the best of their ability, but for various reasons it's not as perfect everywhere, and so we can make sure that you're seeing the city from the best light possible.
I'm just going to pause for a moment and thank Ezekiel York for bringing DiCaprio. Thank you, Ezekiel York, for your pledge, bro. Helping out the channel financially, bringing DiCaprio to the stream. That's professional. Thank you, Ezekiel York. I love saying his name. One of the very few people that I will actually say the whole name. Ezekiel York. Thank you, bro. Very professional. Now, restricted areas. Some people say, oh, we don't need restricted areas at all. That's way to the extreme that I can't agree with. Some people say we need super restrictive zones, and that's on the other extreme. The truth lies somewhere in the middle, right? So that's what I like when they're discussing this, because I think they're going about this the right way. Like the way that they're going through this in the design phase and they're thinking about this, they're thinking about it in the right way to me. I like the talk that I'm hearing right now. Thank you, Ezekiel York.
That said, in 3.10, we've been making some changes to the system. Part of that is introducing landing splines, which is a feature that we wanted for a long time. The cities that will benefit from the landing splines are cities where the spaceport is right inside the city. That's going to be Lorville and Area 18 will have this new feature.
Okay. Now, first thoughts. Here's my first thoughts, okay? We're seeing like this kind of like LED lit kind of area where like, hey, this is the suggested route. Now, I can go both ways on this, but I think as servers begin to populate more and cap counts get up and you start to see like just hordes and hordes of ships, both player and NPC start to enter the verse. I'm thinking this is a rather good thing following this, right? So this isn't really doing the work for you. This is just kind of saying, hey, we're kind of directing you. We're putting this down as a placeholder for when the verse starts to get really populated with tons of NPC and player ships in areas that are landing zones. So, okay, I'm on board so far. I'm on board.
And the idea is that the area surrounding the spaceport is covered in a restricted area all of the time. And so we don't have these complicated restricted area meshes. And then when you request landing permission, an augmented reality path shows up in your HUD that guides you into the spaceport. And that will create effectively a tunnel through the restricted area, letting you fly in and get to your landing spot. And the benefit,
like landing lights, if you think about it, at an airport. And, you know, like in the chat right now, Twabble says, I kind of dig it, but I feel like it would definitely be a better thing to toggle. I think so too. I think some people aren't going to want to see this. So I think that should be something that should be a component that could be toggled on and off, Twabble. As a person who loves HOTAS and who loves like to fly and takes the time to learn how to fly professionally, I get it. You got to think of the other end of the spectrum too. You know, it is a balance. Like if this thing were to like come up, take my ship, suck it down through this portal and then fly it for me, I'd be like, no. For larger ships, possibly, you know, for larger freighters with lots of cargo in them, it's, you know, okay. And I would like to see that a component in a larger freighter that you could build up credits for to buy in a ship like that to make the process completely automated from a distance. Okay, but like in general terms, like LTF, learn to fly, right? Like learn to fly. But this option being here where you're not being automatically sucked down into this for like anything smaller than the freighter size, I'm okay with that as long as Twabble says here, I kind of dig the fact that this could be toggled on and off. I don't think this is a bad idea. Like I explained before, once the verse starts becoming more populated by NPC ships, by player ships, and the player cap gets raised on servers, I can understand why they're going to want these landing spleens here. I totally get it. There's going to be a lot more people and NPC in a space, so I get it on that account.
Benefits that we get from that are quite numerous because now we don't need these complicated meshes to let you fly into the space.
What's going on, Anarchy?
These large, simple meshes that don't have a shader on them, and then we'll provide you with information through your HUD about your stance relating to that airspace. So, for example, if you fly into the airspace, you'll get a notification saying, you've entered Lorville airspace, contact ATC to land.
Good.
And likewise, if you get too low, we can give you a message saying, you know, below you is the restricted area, don't fly any lower. And then as you get closer to the spaceport, it'll say, oh, by the way, you can't enter this area, there's a restricted area in front of you. And because these are really simple shapes, this holds up a lot better because we don't need to give you this information to navigate a very fancy mesh. It's just simple spheres and stuff. And so we hope that this will make the experience feel a little bit more natural and less artificial and make it really feel like you're interacting with that airspace. So that's what
I think also like RSW is saying is in 3.10, we're going to get like the version 1 of the overhaul where they're going to start changing your HUD. with the tech called building blocks, which is the same thing they're using for the friend unification list as well. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm really looking forward to the evolution of this. Like, this is basically version 1 of taking off and landing at large populated spaceports, essentially, is what we're seeing here. So, I don't think this is a bad idea. I really don't. So far from what I'm seeing, doesn't sound like a bad idea, really. I just don't want it so easy mode for people who have ships that are smaller than like freighter size. I feel like even people that trade and stuff still have to have should put a little work in to learn their craft, to learn their ship, to fly. Adds a little bit of realism in there. Adds a little bit of realism.
We've gotten 3.10. Looking forward, we're going to be focusing on usability improvements. So better communication, telling you where your landing spot is, telling you where the spline is, things like that. But we're pretty happy with the progress we've made, and so we'd really like to hear any feedback you have for the future of this feature.
When an aspect or feature is too small, too large, too early, or too busy for an individual segment, we like to pull them all together, mix them up into a sort of video game gumbo, throw in a dash of narration, and a heaping pile of work in progress for a thing that we like to call the Sprint Report. Let's get to it. First up is a new generalized layout and drag and drop system for building blocks, intended to be the basis for potential improvements to the inventory management system. The idea here is that each area can be marked as a drop target, synchronized with external storage, space in your backpack, additional spaces on the chest and or legs and the like, and that when an item, represented here in a variety of box sizes and shapes, is moved from one area to the next, they are either displayed on the character in the correct area or hidden within the backpack if placed there. But don't get too caught up in the numbers or items you see here. As usual, any numbers you see here are placeholders, designed only to prove out a concept or technology. But it's an exciting next step in the further iteration of inventory management for players.
So you're going to see like the larger blocks are essentially going to be like your weapons. This is all personal as far as they could also do this for the new cargo deck coming up. Like, this would be also very cool for like these cargo decks coming out for the economy. Like, as they upgrade the economy, we learned a little bit about the fact that there's going to be like warehousing units where traders are going to be able to put things. They could essentially use building blocks for that as well. That is speculation, but that would be really cool, don't you think, guys? This, I think they're just talking about like right now on you, personal inventory, and this is very cool. So like in that case, you're seeing like these larger blocks are probably going to be weapons. The smaller ones are probably going to be like ammo clips, grenades, med pens, those types of things. And like the longer ones, maybe, I don't know, could be, I'm not quite sure. It could be just about anything. They could assign it to anything, but I'm really digging this. Very easy, very simplistic cues. You're obviously going to have like the item here. You're going to have like the picture, what exactly it is that you're going. Each area is going to mean something. Like, this will be your body. The next one over could be the backpack. The two could be like on, particularly like areas on your side. I'm really digging that. That's really easy and simplistic. Anytime you can make the design simplistic, you have a winner. Look at what the Friends Unification list did. So easy now to bring people into your party. I love it. It's so nice. You add the friend, they're on Spectrum, they're on your account, they're in game, you can see what's going on. That is something that needed to be in the game for a very long time. Very happy to see that. This is just like an add-on to that. I love it. I love this. This is actually getting me very excited.
In the persistent universe. We've previously highlighted work by the VFX team on their efforts to create a new gold standard for atmospheric re-entry, and we've got another update for you. Work continues using signed distance fields to create effects that systemically use the speed, angle, and precise shape of a ship to create an effect that is both dynamic and just cool to see.
We just got done talking about signed distance field tech, man. We were just talking about how could it apply to plugging in shield holes as well. If you guys are familiar with a gentleman named Camural from Germany, he's a YouTube content creator. He tests ships. He tests for shield holes. He was talking about signed field distance technology, signed distance field tech for, possibly using it not only for effects, but also to help with like the shield covering the entirety of the ship so that there aren't shield holes. So, I think that particular tech could also evolve from the effects to helping out with plugging up these shield holds. So very, very cool on the SDF tech. I'm glad I did that video.
And with this latest iteration, the work doesn't just benefit those of us who are flying anymore, as now re-entry effects from other ships can be seen from as far away as the surface of a planet or moon, making for an incredibly cool sight up above as you or anyone else is working or exploring down below.
Oh yeah!
In other fire-related news, the VFX team has also been creating the test bed for a voxel-based fire system, seen here in a very early, simple implementation designed for prototyping. While this will be expanded upon for actual implementation in the future, this already has some very useful debug options designed specifically to test propagation.
Yes, 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 yes. They're adding the elements, aren't they? Between the new Tesla guns that they have and the electricity, now they got the fire, you know? I love it. They're adding the elements into the game, you know? The weather, we're seeing the weather. The dynamic weather is just absolutely fabulous. I'm so looking forward to atmospheric flight basically being reworked for 3.10 to see how the ship feels in the atmosphere. I wonder if it'll actually have an effect with weather as well in flight. Boy, that's going to be great. Give weight to the ship. God, we need that. We need a better flight experience. But this is so cool. So cool.
In this version, the smoke and fire spawn separately within a voxel, while each voxel has its own emitters. This isn't precisely the way we intend any final implementation
How cool
to work,
is that?
but
Look at
it's
that.
functional enough for this initial prototype, which isn't actually designed to demonstrate or test the quality of fire, but instead to determine how any potential propagation of flame might work. And for those of you curious about how fire might look or move with the gravity turned off, so are we. That's next, along with proper entity-based fire, networking tests, and improved propagation all around.
Wow.
Propagating along to environments, first up we have these in-progress images of the factory line, Microtech Corporation's premier retail store. And while there are many other locations throughout the galaxy, the flagship store will be found on their own planet, with an interior that is sleek, simple, and intended to be hip in design. Eventually, players will find retail shopping opportunities for consumer-end Microtech products, like custom Mobi-Glass, a job board, and maybe even a service representative or two with missions of their own to fulfill. We also have a look at the inside of the current part white box, part gray box progress of the upcoming cargo decks, currently scheduled to come online.
Trading and economy is just steamrolling in, isn't it? Like, I'm feeling it. Wallet-to-wallet transactions, we're going to be able to take our creds and transfer them to other people, no matter what other server they're on, no matter if they're online or offline. This is great. This is so cool. And now with these cargo decks, these warehouse units, you know, being able to store, if you're a trader, our own assets, seeing this evolve as well, man, economy's really pushing through right now. I'm really digging the attention to the economy. I'm really digging it.
Later this year. As we mentioned in last week's player trading app segment, future iterations will tie into gameplay here, where folks will be able to leave things for consignment, providing a place for the storing and transfer of goods for both players and NPCs alike.
Way to go.
Cargo decks are intended to be placed among major...
Man, they're prepping for Quanta. They're prepping for it. They're prepping for Quanta. You notice that? There's things being inserted into the economy that are making me very happy. They're prepping it. They're putting the groundworks in for Quanta to get into the game. I'm getting, I'm starting to get them goosebumps, man. I'm starting to get them goosebumps right now. I'm getting excited.
Major trading routes or Lagrange points, as well as in geostationary orbit above major landing zones, to perform their function as both commercial harbor and warehouse for all major trade goods in the universe.
Good way to go, guys.
They're also expected to provide a range of cargo and trade-related missions, as well as those relating to trade security. So,
okay, cool. Like a little escort missions with trading. Dig it. You know what else they need to do? Rather than just these box missions from A to B, they need to make complete cargo-based haul missions for larger freight ships as well, which I think they're going to get into. It sounds to me like they're going to also have missions where you can put the cargo in like a larger cat. That would be great. Like new missions for people that are industrial minded. Boom. Dig it.
Well, there's a little something for everyone here.
Dutch has never been this excited for a warehouse.
This look at work on the new ocean shader improvements you may have seen on the Star Citizen public roadmap. Because this has been work anticipated by the team for some time, the
Man, it's
changes
so
have been
pretty.
made without requiring the reauthoring of any new assets, which is always nice when it can happen that way.
Look at that.
While you may not be able
Look
to
at
see it here in
that.
this clip, because it's such a nice day on Hurston, the ripples of the oceans actually react dynamically with the wind overhead. Because
Hold on a second. Respect it. Respect it. There's a reason why Chris said fidelity so much, man. You know, it might take a long time to get it done, but man, is it worth it? Let's just go back there and check this out I just got to appreciate this, man. This water is ridiculously real.
on the Star Citizen public roadmap.
That is
Because this has been work
insane.
anticipated by the team for some time,
Boats.
the changes have been made without requiring the
Give us
reauthoring of
boats.
any new assets, which is always nice when it can happen that way.
I don't
While
know.
you
Did you
may
see
not
that
be
little
able to see
curl
it
right
here in
there,
this clip,
Melchior?
Because it's such a nice day on her.
Melchior is like not quite as good as Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is awesome, by the way, but I don't know, dude. I saw that little curl right, that little divot right there. I felt that, dude. That was pretty good to me, man. That's right up there, dude.
The ripples of the oceans actually react dynamically.
Oh yeah, Sea of
with the
Thieves
wind
water,
overhead,
awesome, dude.
becoming
Yes,
more turbulent or less tempestuous.
it's crazy. You're
with the
right,
wind
dude.
stream.
That's good. I'm happy with that. That is very good. That looks really quite realistic. That looks very
So what we
realistic.
learned
The
this
sun
week?
off the water there.
Well, we learned that while necessary to serve a number of functions, I think everybody is happy to
Right,
revisit
Boba.
restricted areas and make them less obtrusive,
Right.
less ugly, and easier to work with than ever before. That inventory improvements are on the way, along with a fair amount of fire. And that new areas aren't just pretty to look at, some come with the promise of new gameplay opportunities like factory line and cargo decks. I'm gonna ask around about the oceans though. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you next week.
Wow, guys. That is looking so good. That is looking so good, guys. I'm so excited about the warehousing, the cargo decks, and the building blocks was great. You know, like the interesting part is the titles lately from the Inside Star Citizen show aren't really the things I'm looking forward to or the things that actually blow me away. Like last one was It's Shocking, and it was about the rifles, the stun rifles that are going to be used for like bounty hunters primarily, and those were very cool. But that wasn't like the amazing tidbit of information last week, whereas this week it's Stick the Landing and about how they're making these landing spleens and that wasn't really the most exciting part for me on this one. But these were both very, 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 very good. On a scale of 1 to 10, how disheveled did Jared look? We discussed that in the podcast, by the way. If you guys want to listen to the DG360 podcast, you can either become a $5 patron or push the join button on the YouTube page, and you will hear me talk with people like the Eradicator on the show that I bring on, or Seer the Sixth, or Execute from Info Runners. I'm going to be talking with Rave, or I'm going to try and get Rave here on the show, who's the guy who does galactic logistics for trading. I definitely want to talk with him and schedule him on. Execute told me some amazing news today that I really can't share but want to, but you guys will be finding out very shortly, something that you guys are all going to get blown away about very shortly involving Execute, and I think I'm going to help him out in regards to that as well. So there is a lot going on, ladies and gentlemen. If you do want to support the show, you get perks. And you know, we're having a giveaway. What are we having a giveaway on coming up? We're calling Sunday. We're going to be calling the winners to a G12A, to 2 P72 Archimedes in the Emerald skin, to a $25 Amazon gift card. And as soon as we call those winners, there's going to be 4 people winning. We're going to have another giveaway like right after, the same day. And I want to thank J-Dubs, but I'm not going to say what it is. It's awesome. So we're literally going to call 4 winners on Sunday, and we got another giveaway right after we call the winner. Stay tuned to the YouTube channel. It's going to be great. Also, tomorrow, I'm going to try and stream early. I have an idea maybe. Just stay tuned to the Discord. Hopefully I can do it. I do have to go to Christie's for the weekend. I haven't seen her in 2 weeks. That's my girlfriend. DG start over. Erad missed it, huh? It's okay. That's why I put him onto YouTube. This was fun, guys. Thanks for hanging out today. Thanks for coming here and chilling out with the fam. I always have such a good time on the Inside Star Citizen Review. It's such a really good time. Thursday's like one of my favorite days just because I get to chill out, have a good time with you guys. Thanks for showing up. Don't forget, lots of content hitting the channel. We hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thanks, guys. It's great. It's going great. And I want to do some Star Citizen oriented things with you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned to Discord. We'll see if we can get it done. If not next week, we're going to have just like family day almost every day next week where we're just doing stuff inside the verse together, putting it on the channel. I want to do a podcast with the fans, get you guys on another episode because we got 2 with you guys on there. I want to get another one on there. Thanks for all the support. Ezekiel York, thank you for the pledge, bro. You won't be disappointed. You're going to have access to that podcast now as well. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Get that vag. Get that. That just doesn't sound. I'm sorry, guys. It's value-added gameplay.